Scarface talk real. No filters here. We love too hard. We argue then cheer.
And we are live. Welcome back to Uncomfortable Convos. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface. And welcome back to another episode. Thank you guys always tuning in for every week. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you for the 1 million downloads. I really do appreciate it. It just shows me that you guys really enjoy the podcast, like listening to it, and find value out of it. So thank you guys again. And also go to naughtyscience.com if you want to get tools for you and your partner. And you know, the adult tools that I'm talking about, the toys, okay? Special discount code in the description. Make sure you guys go get one. Christmas is coming up. Make sure you get it before they come, or before, because it does take about a couple weeks to show up. But hey, better prices and great tools. I'll tell you that for now. Anyways, so today I actually wanted to get something that gets asked about a lot is why do exes keep spinning the block, or how they keep coming back? And most importantly, how do you stop it, right? So basically, I mean, there's a bunch of different reasons why a guy would spin the block, or the ex would spin the block, ex would want to come back, and so on and so forth, right? But for the most part is that they don't miss you. They just miss having access to you, if that makes sense. You know, some of the things that they miss is attention on demand, basically. Because before, when you're with them, they text you, you message back this, you message back, they call, DM, you know, like whatever the case may be, you message back. They have your attention, okay? And when they're exes, they don't have that access to you anymore, or they shouldn't have that access to you, okay? And also, they need some sort of validation, like, oh, I still got her right there. She's still there. She's not going anywhere. You know, she'll talk to me. I message, she responds. You know, with the quickness. It's never like, oh, don't talk to me again. You know, maybe it's that, but then they just keep talking to you, and you keep talking to them. Another reason could be comfort. Now, let's be honest. You know, it's comfortable. I'm gonna be honest. You've talked to this person before. You've gotten to know them. You're past the courting phase. You're comfortable with them already to have a conversation. So it's easy just to message them back and message you back, or if you're a lady, and just be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And there's no awkwardness. It's not some random dude. It's not some random creep. You know, and so, you know, if you allow them to message you, they're gonna continue to message you. So, and they also want to feel like they're wanted from you. They still want to feel that from you, and still want to pursue other people. They want to feel almost, like an ego power trip type of vibe. Like, the only way she's going to be happy is with me, nobody else. She still messages me. She still answers my calls, my text messages. You know, she still sends me pictures, and so on and so forth, right? So, and then the version of themselves they got to be with you, like they think that, you know, or they try to go back to that, if that makes sense. You know, they'll try to act how they did when they got you, and then they switched up on you. So also remember that. Most exes do not come back for love. They come back for the cookie, the cat, emotional, something. It's very rarely for love or to win you back. Does that happen? Absolutely. It can happen, you know, but it's more than likely one of these other ones, because, you know, I'm sure you've seen it in movies and like TV shows where they separate their exes, but the guy's so madly in love with her, he needs to win her back. He needs to get her back. Of course, women are going to love these movies, because they're just like, I need a man who's going to win me back like that. And so you have that you romanticize that. And you're like, oh, maybe this is my story when they come back and they get me. They steal me from the next person. Come on. You know? And even if they left you, they kept you in their back pocket just in case. Remember that. They're there just in case. They keep you there just in case, you know. Maybe it doesn't work out over here. Maybe they left you because they wanted to pursue this over here, and that didn't pan out how they wanted. So they just like, come on back. Right, most people will take them back. They'll feed them some BS lies, and then they'll just be like, "Oh, okay." Like, they said they changed. And this is why a lot of the times they check your stories, react to your pictures, randomly text you, So you need to pay attention to these behaviors and these patterns, because it could be that they're just, again, they just want something from you. Because somebody who loves you and wants to win you back is going to put in the effort, tell you, hey, like, this is what I'm going to make happen, and then try to make it happen. Not just be like, oh, come back to me. Like, we can have what we used to have, right? And it also could be that they don't want you, but they don't want anybody else to have you. And that's like pure ego, okay? That is, they want you on a long leash, long rope, right? And for those that have followed me for a while, know that that was one of the biggest reasons why I didn't want to leave my ex of 7.5 years, was because just the thought of another person touching her, another person being with her, their dirty paws on there, I was just like, nah, nope, we're gonna work this out. I just can't think of that. I don't want to think of that, so I would make it work, because I was like, I don't want nobody else touching her. I don't want nobody else like with her. So again, that's why the relationship went a little too long, more than it needed to. Okay. And also they could come back when life punches them, when they get into some sort of situation. Like I said, their rebound fails. They thought they had something good over here, and then come to find out it's not that great. And then they want to come back, right? Or they go and actually try to pursue somebody, and they get rejected because they thought it was going to be easy for some reason. And that's what happens a lot to a lot of these guys. They think they can pull girls. They leave their person, and then they're like, I'm going to come get this. And they're like, fuck, leave me alone. I'm not into you. And then they come back with their tail in between their legs. Or they leave and they start feeling lonely, and they miss having somebody around. And so guess what they do? They start coming back, right? Which a lot of people go through that, and they heal past of that. Or it could be that their little fun, well, air quotes, season ended, right? They left you, they went and partied, had fun, talked to girls, maybe messed around with girls, and then they came back. And they're just like, all right, I'm done having fun. I'm ready to be serious again. No, because you know what's going to happen? That they're going to want to have that fun later on again, and then the same cycle is going to happen, right? Don't fall for it. The real world starts to set in. They start realizing, oh shit, like maybe it's not as easy as I thought. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, I wish I could be single again, because they think that they can just talk to a girl, they're gonna like be head over heels for them, and then everything's gonna be great. No, it is difficult for guys out here. Meaning, like, they need to realize that they ain't got it like that. Most guys do not got it like that. You got to put in work. You got to talk to them. You got to take them out. You got to court them. They're not just gonna be like, oh, you left your girl, here, take me now. And so when they realize that that's not working out, maybe they lost something else. They lost you. Maybe they're losing their place of where they live, maybe their car, and so on and so forth. And so they want to come back and be like, no, this was safe over here. This was good. Let's have it how we used to have it. No. And also, you could become their emotional Airbnb. They check in, they make a mess, and then they leave. And that's why you have to be careful, because a lot of these guys be doing that. They come back for a little bit, and you're like, oh, this is great, because they on their best behavior, and then they go right back to their same shit, and then they end up dipping again. And then they come back, and you take them back, okay? And also, that loneliness really hits at night. That's why sometimes they used to have somebody by them at all times. Even if you weren't next to each other, you still had somebody maybe on the phone, and you could message, maybe even come over, have you come over. And so that's why they get lonely. If they've had a few drinks, they'll message you late at night. It's always late, right? It's never at noon. It's usually at night when they're not busy, not doing anything. Because when you're busy doing stuff during the day, you're distracted. You're not thinking about so much. When you're laying down in bed, or maybe you're out and nothing's happening, you ain't pulling no girls, you start thinking of, you're like, damn, I really, like, it was so much easier before, So just be careful when they're messaging you too, because it could just be it's a whole lot of selfishness. They're lonely, so they want to message you and just keep fucking with your head. Okay. And so the reason also why they want to spin the block is, oh, I mentioned it before. The rebound didn't rebound. They left thinking that they were going to upgrade, but they ended up downgraded big time. You know, it's like right now, if you have an iPhone 17 Pro Max, top of the line, full, like whatever, 2 terabyte memory. You know how hard it's going to go back to say like an iPhone 4, only like, what was the lowest one? I think it was only like 32 gigs. That's not even enough for the apps now. So like, you're thinking you're going to get something great, which was you, and then they leave and they find out it's like something shitty, and then they want to come back, and you're like, no, sorry. Or a lot of you guys will be like, sure, okay. Or this is how you get revenge with people, but it hurts their feelings, it hurts their ego. You start losing weight because why? You want to distract yourself. You start hitting the gym. You start looking better. The confidence is through the roof now. And so now they want to come spin the block. You look happier. You no longer have this toxic relationship, fighting with somebody and looking like you're not enjoying life. Then they want to spin the block. Okay. You start traveling, going different places. You're here, Mexico, Europe, wherever the case, different states in the country. And they were like, dang, I could be going with her too. So they spin the block. You start to dress better because when you started hitting the gym and you look better, you're confident. And when you put the clothes on, you feel even more confident. And guess what they do? They want to spin the block because they want that, right? You start to level up in life. Your career is moving up. You're maybe hustling and you're climbing that tax bracket. And so they're like, let me spin the block. Let me go back and see what's going on over there. Maybe I can be included. And then, you know, like I said, suddenly you start hearing messages from them. Hey, how you been? Miss you. Happy birthday. Oh, I missed your birthday. Happy late birthday. Happy early birthday. You know, like they'll find any reason to send you a message. Okay. And so like another reason from that is the ego check. You know, they still need to know that you have access to you. And this is like the number one reason for reassurance that they still have you. So like I said, it's not love. It's just reassuring themselves that they still have access to you. So they keep spinning the block, making sure, hey, you're still available. Hey, you're still available. The moment you don't become available, they might even become the crazy. Who you talking to? How come you're not answering? How come this? How come this? You know, they start, starting that type of drama. Okay. And then they're bored. And so they go back to what's familiar. You know, we're all like, if something happens, people comfort eat. They go to what's comfortable, maybe go visit the parents because that's, you know what I mean? So they want to come back to you where it's comfortable. They don't have to court you. They can like just hang out. You know, like when you're first talking to somebody, say you go to their house, like you're a little bit more like not as comfortable because you're still getting to know this person. Compared to like when you've got like a year in, like you're already comfortable, you're doing whatever you want, right? And they also come back when they start seeing you move on. Okay. You post that maybe it looks like a date. They're just like, what is she doing? Is she out with somebody else? A dinner picture. What is she doing? Somebody else? Hey, what are you doing? What are you up to? Hey, how you been? A man's hand. Oh. They'll start to try to decipher that hand. They'll be like, do I know anybody with that hand? They'll go through the people you follow, your friends on Facebook. They'll look for similar, like a feature. His ring finger has a broken nail and it's kind of slightly, you know, let me find him. Or I think I know who that is. Oh, is that so-and-so? You know, and same goes with like a guy posting a girl's hair. You know, or posting captions with lyrics, kind of, you know, a lot of people do that. You know, they'll post something, the lyrics, and they think that it's about them. They're like, what the fuck? You know, what do you mean you're moving on? Or why are you posting a love song? Who are you in love with? And then, boom, I miss you. Hey, how you been? Out of nowhere. And then something big right now that's going to happen, I want you guys to notice. I want you guys to pay attention. Holidays. People get lonely as soon as the holiday season starts to hit. It's a little different too during the holidays, okay? November through February, it's ex comeback season. That's what we're going to call it. Ex comeback season. Because that's when they're like start feeling lonely. They see people at Christmas parties together or out on dates, doing this, doing that. And now they don't have time to go court somebody, or maybe they, they're starting to feel lonely. They see all these couples on dates and now they're just like, hey, how you been? You have to pay attention to that because they realize they had something good, especially if you guys celebrated the holidays before. They're like, dang, we were doing this before. Is she doing it with somebody else? Like, is she out with somebody else? So they start to spin the block. Or it could be that they want the benefits, but not the relationship. They want your warmth, most women are like the caring, caressing, they can really soften a man, if you will, right? They could miss that. How you cook food for them, how you do things, or even like guys, like a girl could miss that, when they hugged you, they felt like they were completely covered, those type of little things. Your body, of course, they miss your body, the cookie. They miss your attention. They loved having your attention before. And now that they don't have access to it, they spin the block so they can re-get it because they don't want nobody else to get that attention. So they got to make sure they keep it, somewhat. They miss the compliments you used to give them. Maybe you told them certain things. Maybe you were like, oh, you did this well, very handsome, this, X, Y, and Z. And the people that they're trying to court right now, they're not telling them that. So they kind of miss that, right? They miss your energy. They miss just that vibe being around. You know how there's some people who just when they're around that you enjoy their vibe, their presence, it just makes you feel a little bit better. They could miss that. Okay. And now, how do you accidentally keep the door open for them to keep spinning the block? You reply to their messages. Maybe it's just out of boredom. This is the number one way people sabotage their healing, because you respond. And it could even be if they're being super petty, disrespectful. If they get you to respond, mission accomplished. They got you to respond because now you're talking to them. Now, even if you're yelling at them, you're talking to them. That's what they wanted. That's why they told you, that's why they said very disrespectful things, very petty things, brought up old traumas, because they want you to answer. Let's be honest. Okay. I've said some petty shit. I've said some disrespectful shit. Yes, I'm not going to act like I'm perfect. I've never said it. Yeah, I've said it. And that was the intention, for them to fucking answer. And it could stop your healing, because now you start talking to them. It could open those old wounds. And then you're like, maybe there is a chance. And then boom, he's gone again, or she's gone again. Okay. You think friendliness is closure. No. And that's why some people are like, oh, they said that we're still going to be friends, and X, Y, and Z. No, they still want to have you there, and so if they give you a little bit, depending on the person, if they give you a little bit, you're going to continue to be around and available to them, because they give you that little bit of hope, right? Or they also say they want to be friends because they want to keep close tabs on you. The moment they feel like you are into something, like maybe going on a date or into somebody else, they're going to come back a little harder. That way you stop doing that. So another big reason, which I tell people all the time, which I block them and erase them, you keep their number saved. For what? They're exes. You don't need to get hold of them anymore. For what? Why do you need their number? Unless they're your baby daddy or baby mama. Which means you only save contacts if, for some reason, if I need to message them. What is the if? You guys are done. You guys are over. There's no if. Remove that contact, especially if you start drinking and get lit a little bit. If we hardly ever, memorize phone numbers anymore. So you're not going to remember their number. And then so you won't be able to drunk text them, delete the messages off your phone and stuff like that too. You don't need it on there. There's no reason for that. Okay. You still stalk their page when you check their stories or like something just so they know, you know, and that's why I get that question. What does it mean? Like when X like views my stories, likes my pictures and stuff like that. It could mean that they're trying to keep tabs on you, they're trying to spin that block. And if you do it to them, guess what? You're leaving it open for them to know, be like, hey, I still got something here. Something still, you know, I still got her. I still got him. Okay. You respond to when they message you like stuff like, I hope you're doing good. Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks. You don't need to respond to that. You're doing fabulous now. Because why? You're no longer in this toxic relationship. You're doing great. You don't need to give them any attention. They should know. Like, I hope you're doing good. Just give them a physical thumbs up. You know, you don't need to send it. Just be like, thanks, buddy. Because that's the most manipulating message ever. You know, it's basically bait. It's an easy, hey, you'll respond to this because it's a nice thing to do, right? And like I said, it's like bait. And if you respond, you took the bait. Let's be honest. And that's a lot of guys, that's how they feel. Like, be like, oh, they'll message this, hopefully to get a message back. Because I've done it too before when you send like a message, try to keep like tabs on something or like trying to spin the block. And when I did it the one time, I didn't get a message back where I was like, all right, fuck this then. You know, because I had that itch, you know, like maybe I should reach out to her, see how she's doing, you know, maybe kind of miss hooking up with her. Just saying. You hold on to good memories. You forget about the pain because the nostalgia hits harder. That's how trauma bonds stay alive. And that's why a lot of these people stay in relationships, because they stick to the good things, which is good to like have a little bit of hope, faith, right? But these very little good things outweigh all of the negativity for some reason. Like, say it's 10% good, 90% bad. They're like, yeah, but this 10% is amazing. Like, we can get back to this 10%. No, because, and that's why like you should go through, delete photos, like all that stuff. There's no reason to hold on to that, because what are you holding on to? You know, what are you holding on to? Like, ask yourself that. So, you don't want to be in like, get caught on your phone, not get caught by somebody else, but just catch yourself scrolling on your phone. And then you're like, oh, you start looking at their pictures. Maybe you go stalk their page. Maybe you go look at old videos and stuff like that. No, stop it. Okay. And we're going to go over also some of the psychological things behind it all. Okay. Trauma bonds. You weren't in love. You were addicted. Okay. Their pattern of affection, withdrawal, hooked your nervous system. And there's a lot of people who they connect by trauma bonding. Like, that's an actual thing. And so like, it makes you feel like, oh, this person understands me. This person knows me. They're like the only ones that know me, because you guys were trauma bonding. You know, and what's the best way to get over a trauma? Therapy and healing yourself. Okay, that's the best way. Not going back to the same person who probably intensified the trauma, intensified everything else. You know, you're addicted to that because you feel like you guys can relate on a certain level. No, you can't. Yeah, you guys both have issues. Go get it fixed. And what I mean by go get it fixed is go talk to like a therapist, go talk to a counselor, get in therapy, whatever the case. That's the only way to get past it. Nothing I say is going to help when you need therapy. Okay. Being like, the familiarity beats the loneliness. Okay. People will choose to be familiar, comfort, over something that's unfamiliar. For example, like, it's the fear of the unknown is why a lot of people don't like to separate. Well, what happens if I leave? Like, is this the right decision? I don't know if it's going to work, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's next. With your person, it's like, we're going to argue. We're still going to be here. And they're still going to be here in a week. Right? But when it's the fear of the unknown, like, you're no longer with this person. And so that's why like they're like, fuck, like I had something good, or maybe I should go back. Maybe that's what I was supposed to do. Let me go back. Let me spin the block. You know, and guys think of that too. Okay. So the thing is that it goes back to like you only remember the good things in the relationship. You guys remember the good nights, having dinner, watching a movie, laughing, going out to an event, going to a concert. You remember all those little times, right? Which is good to have those memories with your person. Absolutely. The times you guys laughed, joked around, had fun with each other, messed with each other, the affection you guys showed each other. Like people remember that. Oh, he was like very affectionate. This, like the way he would hold me, the way she would hold me, the intimacy. Maybe you remember, oh, like I felt like we connected on a different level while being intimate. Your guys' inside jokes that you had going on. Like people miss those things. And of course it's gonna happen, but they also like those little that's the 10%, what I just went over. The 90%, which a lot of people forget, are all the lies they told you. Lies that could have been cheating. You know, they lied to you about this, they lied about this, they lied about that. You forgot about all those, okay? Which caused very big arguments. You forgot about the disrespect. They were very disrespectful with you. You know, they flirted with other girls, they cheated on you, they did X, Y, and Z, right? The disrespect, the inconsistency with you. They were very hot and cold. You know, one day they would be great, the next 2 weeks they would be horrible. Right? Like, did you forget that? Did you forget that they weren't consistent? You didn't feel wanted by this person. You had to beg for their attention. Okay? And did you forget the multiple times you guys may have broken up and gotten back together? You know? Like, you not paying attention to, oh, this time is gonna work. But not the 4 previous times you guys had broken up and made up? What about those? And the anxiety that this person has caused you, the emotional distress, the emotional abuse that you've gone through, the toxicity you had to go through with this person. Pay attention to those, because if it got to a breakup, a lot of it was probably more negative than positive in your relationship, because nobody leaves a very positive relationship when it's very little negative. Unless they maybe cheated or something like that, you know, just out of nowhere. But if you guys have a horrible relationship going on and it finally gets you to the point where you're like, boom, I'm done. A lot of things probably had to happen along the way for you to get there. And you forget about all those like things and you remember the good things. And so that's what probably keeps you or keeps them from, they spin the block for that, right? So we're also going to talk about the different attachment styles. Okay. Avoidance always come back once you stop chasing. Let me read that again. Avoidance always come back when you stop chasing. Once they feel like you're not chasing them anymore, they're going to be, oh, so how come she don't want me? She don't miss me? Like, what's going on? Let me go back. Because they want to, they crave that. An anxious partner always hopes that maybe this time, okay, like there's always those people that romanticize it and feel like it's going to go back to this. And especially like the beginning of a relationship when everything's great and dandy, people think that things are going to go back to that. I'll tell you right now, they are not going to go back to that. They may come close, but how you felt and how you guys were when you guys were first being like courting each other, it's not going to go back to that. I'll tell you that. Just because people change, you get comfortable with this person, it's no longer trying to court, which it should continue to be like courting you, but in a different type of way, right? Because you already got this person. Now you have to work on keeping this person. And it goes both ways, okay? So we're going to talk about a few ways how to stop them from spinning the block, okay? 0 contact, not reduced. Is this mic on? 0 contact. not just once in a while, not every then, no texting, no emoji replies, no happy birthday, no I hope you're good, nothing at all. You block them if they don't stop messaging you. They make another account, you block that one too. Okay. I said zero contact. And people always ask me, why do you block your exes? You know, even if you end up on good terms, because I'm not trying to go back at all. I don't want them to be messaging me something like that. And I don't want to message them out of nowhere, something like that. Or drunk text or drunk call. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Zero. Now, if you have a baby daddy, that is different. I get it. I understand. The only form of contact, like texting and messaging and calling each other, is about the kids, not how your day is doing, not how their day is doing. You know, no happy birthday. I don't give a fuck. No emoji replies. No, I hope you're good. No, nothing. If it's not about the kids, you guys aren't fucking talking. That's it. It's only about the kids. Or you're trying to get back with them. So, and that's why I have here, block if you must. Blocking is not petty. Contrary to what a lot of people say. It's being protective of your peace. And that's what I do. I protect my peace. I protect me. Because the last thing I want to do is like try to go back with this person and get hurt again. The last thing I want them to do is try to get back with me and hurt me again. Okay? I'm protecting me. I'm choosing me. At the end of the day, we all have to choose ourselves because nobody wants the best for you more than you. Okay? Remember that. Best advice I ever got. Stop checking their page. I know you be snooping. Okay? I've snooped too before. But we don't do none of that snooping no more because it does nothing. Okay? Every time you go back into their profile, it stops that healing, or maybe it reignites those memories and you're like, oh, maybe we should do something. Maybe I should reach back. I kind of miss him. I kind of miss her. Let me spin the block. And then you allow them. You need to remove the fantasy from your head. Write down why it ended. I want you to do that. That's the call to action. I know we're not at the end, but that's the call to action. I want you to write down why it ended. And all the little reasons why it ended. Because when you actually write it down and look at it, you're like, damn, I can't believe I went through this. Even if you just want to write it down and show it to somebody, be like, would you be with somebody if they did something like this to you? And they'll be like, fuck no. Because I guarantee you, if a friend showed you that and they're like, asked you for advice, would you be with somebody who did all these things to you? And you'd probably be like, no, why? Why would you be with somebody like that? Right? And so that's why people heal slower when they still have that highlight reel in their head. They're still fantasizing. They're still in contact with them. That's why you just got to cut it off, right? They don't let them, either if it's you or them, you need to fill that emotional gap with something. Because trust me, we love to love. Like all humans love to love. They like to feel wanted. They love to love. So you need to fill that in with something else. And if it's me, okay, I'm just joking. You need to fill that with something. And I'm not talking another person. I'm with something. Working out, distract that day, or like not that day, but like you insert a different hobby there. Maybe even get a part-time job. Maybe you focus on a side hustle, but you have to fill that up with something. You can't just leave it empty. Leaving it empty is just like going home, thinking about it, scrolling. You see a video and you're like, I miss them. No, you need to fill that gap up with something. And again, I'm not saying it has to be somebody. I'm saying with something to do. And also, don't fall for their fake accountability. And I'm sure we've all heard this. You didn't deserve the way I treated you, which is a fucking classic. Hey, like, I'm trying to get you to answer. I'm trying to spin the block. I'm trying to see if we can work this out. Or like, let me come back. Okay? No. Of course they didn't deserve how they treated you. Of course. And that's why you're like, it won't ever happen again. So no, back off, bitch. Because them saying you didn't deserve the way I treated you, and then you accept him back. Basically, he's saying like that's how you should be treated. Because if you're going right back to the same thing, are you not? Like, am I making shit up here? Uh, so, and also what you need to do is define your non-negotiables after a breakup. And this is something maybe you should also write down. Write down what I will never tolerate again. Okay. What did I ignore the first time? What kind of relationship do I actually want? Because as soon as you become clear, clarity kills your cycle. And that's why a lot of like these successful people, they're like, write down your goals, write down what you want. Right. And that's something that I need to work on, like not relationship wise, but like goal wise, business wise, career wise, what I want and work towards them. Right. Some of the things that I had written down was like reach 1 million downloads on my podcast, on the podcast. Mission accomplished. So we need to dial in those goals again. We need to write them down. And you need to do the same thing with what you want in a relationship. Because I'm not talking about, they got to be 6'6". They got to, no, I'm talking about how they treat you, how they are with you, what things you won't let them get away with this time and stuff like that. Okay. And this last one, I'm going to go into the 6 different signs, or not 6 different, but the different signs they only want access to you and not you. Okay. These are all red flags. And you can debate about it if you want. You can listen to it. You can send me a message. Okay. They only text you at night. If they don't talk to you during the day, you're not a priority. You're just basically a backup. Like they really went all day without talking to you. They really went, and at night when they're feeling lonely, laying in bed by themselves with one hand on the sausage, nobody else to touch it. Now they want to message you. So it goes to show you how much of priority you actually were. Okay. They disappear after getting attention. Once you give them validation, they just dip out again. They come, spin the block, you give them attention, and then they dip off. They're like, yep, still got it. Boom, gone. They avoid accountability. They say, I miss you, but they never say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry that I did this. I'm sorry I did that. I miss you. You never deserve to be treated like that. You can't say sorry, but you can't apologize, bitch. Right? They don't want you to move on. But they also don't want to commit to you. They don't want to see you with another man. They don't want some other dude's paws on you. But they don't want to be committed to you. They just want you around for them. Remember that. Or their apology sounds like seduction, not accountability. They're just trying to manipulate you with previous, we'll call it nostalgia. Oh, and you remember when we did this, you did this. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm going to treat you like this. No. They had their chance, especially if you've been on multiple breakups. Like, you need to learn when to end that cycle. Because if it just leads to, oh, they're going to change, spin the block. Oh, spin the block, spin the block, spin the block. How many times you going to, trust me, most of these guys won't run out of gas. They got that bitch on full tank and they'll keep coming back as long as you keep letting them come back. Okay? So those are just some of the reasons. And hopefully you listen through the whole podcast and we're able to, maybe some of these hit pretty hard for you, So again, I want you to write down what you want in a relationship. That is the call to action this week. I want you to write down what you want in a relationship. 1, 2, things that you won't accept in a relationship ever again. And then put that bitch somewhere where you can see it. The next guy tries to talk to you. The next girl talks to you. Nope. Not going to take that shit. Not going to take that shit. And don't let it. And if any of these, like you have an ex coming back doing some of these things, now you know why. You need to, because if you let them come back, they're going to continue to spin the block. So technically, it's both of y'all's fault. He came back, you accepted the comeback. He dipped out, you get upset. Comes back, you accepted the comeback. That's what I'm saying. Like it's both. If you would just been like, nope. And I get it. Sometimes people get upset. People get petty. They'll say disrespectful things. But you got to learn to, just like almost deafen the noise, right? Like just make sure that noise, because there's so much noise, right? When they come around, they'll try to be petty. They'll chew it, and they'll want you to react to what they say. And most of the time, people give them what they want because they'll be super disrespectful. Even if it comes down to being your past traumas, they'll post on social media stuff about you. It'll make you upset, and then you'll respond to them. Mission fucking accomplished for them. Okay, so just remember that, because 2026 is around the corner. And if you had a horrible 2025, let's make 2026 a lot better and not fall for the same BS. And if you have an ex trying to come around for the holidays, tell that ho, ho, ho. No. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys tune in every Monday. We have a new podcast episode for you guys. I really do appreciate it. You guys are amazing. I love doing these for you. And like I said before, yes, I'm going to get more guests, but I know you guys love hearing me too. Sometimes some guests really don't. I'm picky now, because you got to bring some sort of value to the podcast. You can't just come and just be like, hey, yeah. You got to bring value to the podcast, because I want you guys to get the best value possible. Okay? Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Make sure you guys follow my socials, and se la lava.
Red flags up, shots in a cup. If it's messy, then you know it's uncomfortable.